Hello and welcome, y'all. Doing something a little different today. Instead of doing a review or a build in a game, tell a little story. I thought we'd try something different, do something a little fun and silly. I'm gonna take the recent update for Valheim with bears and we're gonna turn around and create a little short story with it. I hope y'all enjoy. Please remember to like and subscribe so you don't miss anything in the future. But we're gonna go ahead and get to it. So kick back, relax, grab your snacks, and here we go. This is a story about a young Viking woman and her love and desire to have a pet bear. The story is called The Woman and Her Bears. In the north, where the mountains broke the sky and the fjords carried whispers of gods, there lived a woman named Cuddles. She was strong of arm and sharp of tongue, a shield maiden who had returned from many raids with silver in her pouch and scars on her skin. Yet despite her victories, she longed for something that the sea and sword could not bring her. She wanted a bear. Not to hunt, nor to slay, nor to wear as a pelt across her shoulders, but as a companion. When she sat by the fire at night, she imagined a great beast at her side. Its fur warm, its eyes steady, its growl a lullaby. But bears were not dogs, and every skald in her village laughed when she spoke of her wish. "Bears cannot be tamed," they said, shaking their heads. "Then I shall not tame them," Cuddles replied. In her sadness, Cuddles reached out to a friend of hers to let them know of the struggles that she is facing with not being able to tame any bears. And his response sparked something in Cuddles. What if you dug a pit? What if you dug a pit? Her eyes widened, and almost like a light bulb going off in her brain, she had an idea. She crafted the strongest pick that she could possibly make. She spent time making sure that it was strong enough and was going to last. She found a very empty, open land, and she began to dig her pit. One hit after another, she kept digging. She didn't stop, deeper and deeper, until her arms ached and her breath steamed like the dragon smoke. She carved a pit so wide, a longship could have rested inside. Then she lined the bottom with stones, leaving room for a fire and fresh straw. The next day, she dragged a trail of fish heads, seal fat, and honey into the forest. The scent drifted, and soon the earth trembled. Out from the trees lumbered a great bear, its fur ragged with winter. She kept quiet, she kept crouched, her eyes never leaving the side of the bear. Locked in, she knew what she wanted. She knew what needed to be done. And so, it was time. She had faced many battles in her life, many enemies that she didn't know whether she would overcome or not, and she always did. But this one was different. This wasn't some enemy that she was trying to slaughter. She was trying to keep this as a companion. She was trying her best to tame the bear, even though it could not be tamed. This was a challenge she was determined to overcome. But would she be able to? Soon she would know. She equipped herself with claws of the beast, the same beast that she would try to tame in her pit. One hit is all it took to aggro the bear to follow her. And so she kept distance, kept safely away from it, enough to where the bear gave chase. She was going to lure the bear into the pit, and it fell into the pit with a roar that shook the air. Cuddles leaned over the edge, her braids swinging like a rope. She looked into the beast's eyes and grinned. "You're mine now," she said. She had done it. She had captured a bear. The bear raged and clawed. The walls were too steep, the stones too slick. Cuddles threw meat into the pit, then more honey, until the animal calmed and lay down in its straw bed. Soon another came, and another. One bear turned to two, turned to three, and so on. By the turning of the season, Cuddles' pit of bears had grown immensely. Brown and black, small and monstrous, all captured by her clever hands. She fed them, sang to them, and told them tales of her raids across the sea. The villagers called her mad. They crossed themselves when they passed her homestead, whispering that she had built her own hall of monsters. Yet Cuddles did not care. At night she sat by her fire, the roars of her bears echoing around her like a choir. Their wildness filled the air, and to her it was better than the songs of men. The seasons grew longer, and so did Cuddles' legend. She was no longer just a shield maiden. She was the woman of the pit, the one who kept the forest beasts as her own. Men came from distant villages to see the great bears that roared behind her homestead, and they went away shaking their heads, muttering that she was either blessed or cursed. But the forest is not blind. The gods and darker things had seen what Cuddles had done. One night, when the moon hung thin and pale as a bone, a new sound came from the woods. A growl too hollow to belong to the living. The trees shivered, and from the shadows came a bear unlike any she had seen. Its fur was patchy with rot, its ribs pushed through its hide, and its eyes glowed faintly with a light that was not of this world. An undead bear. Most would have run, but Cuddles only smiled. "Even the dead want my company," she said. She fetched a different bait this time, not honey, not fish, but a sheep's skull filled with blood. She dragged the offering along the ground, his red eyes gleaming under the moon. The bear followed, dragging its ruined paws, its breath rattling like dry reeds in the wind. The trail of blood she had left behind led to the same pit with all the other bears that she had collected. With a rumble, the beast toppled into the earth, landing among the straw and stones with a sound like breaking bones. It clawed the walls, but even death had not given it wings to climb. The other bears roared uneasily, their fur bristling as they smelled the stench of rot. But Cuddles only laughed. She leaned over the edge, her face lit by firelight. "You'll do well here," she told the creature. "Dead or alive, you're mine now." And so the undead bear became part of her collection, pacing the bottom of this pit, growling with a voice that belonged half to Hell's realm. Cuddles fed it as she fed the others, with blood and bones instead of meat and honey. In time, the living bears grew used to its presence, and their chorus of roars was joined by the hollow bellow of their ghostly kin. The villagers whispered louder now. "Surely she has bargained with hell. Surely she keeps company with the dead." But Cuddles only sat by her fire, smiling as the voices of her bears, living and otherwise, echoed through the night. And from then on, they said, not even death itself could resist the woman of the pit. Years passed, and Cuddles grew old. Her bones stiffened, her sword grew dusty. But her pit was never empty. The bears lived, bred, and bellowed, always close, always hers. And so it was said that she lived happily ever after, not with battles, not with farming, but with the unbroken company of the forest's fiercest creatures. The woman who wished to tame a bear never did, but she found a way to keep them, and the earth itself held her secret. And there you have it. There was our little short story about taming bears in Valheim. I hope you guys enjoyed. I know it was a little different, but I thought it was kind of fun to do. Thank you so much for all of the love and support. Please remember to like and subscribe so you don't miss any content coming in the future. I do want to give a special shout out to the members of the Chaos Crew. Y'all are absolutely amazing, and I appreciate everything that you do. A special shout out to the ultimate Chaos Crew member, the Guardian 1970. You are amazing, my friend. Thank you so, so much for everything. I have a link in the top right to another one of my YouTube videos if y'all would like to check it out. And remember, you are freaking amazing. On my mind, safe embrace and love we find.